still drunk when the alarm was sounded. Couldn't find my horse, so I took the first one that was similar. There was a lot of confusion. Uluki, wealthy young Katiaroi noble.
In the spring of 273 BC, after the initial successful expanse of King Dotos into Pannonia, chief Rigazus of the Potula Tents, the man titled as the Warden of the East, was starting to feel left out, more so when the Dacian ruling council voted to continue the western expanse. In fear of being left out and losing political power, he took the army under his control across the border with the Katiaroi. The official reason given was to secure trade routes to the east, when in reality, Rigazus went plundering the local Voinu. The Voinu quickly asked their Katiaroi overlords to come to their aid. A large force of eager Katiaroi nobles was assembled under General Spakos. Nobles equipped with the best armor and fastest horses money can buy, eager to avenge the Perdametskarayan massacre and re-establish dominance. To everyone's surprise, Chief Rigazus' response to the army that was chasing him was to attack it, not in the open field, but their actual fortified military camp. The following battle was called the Eastern Death Camp.
After the harsh winter, morale among the plebeian troops was low. They could delay no longer. On the first scene the snow was melting, we went plundering. The local Voinu were shocked, since they enjoyed Katiaroi protection for so long. Easy prey. Soon enough our scouts came with reports. The Scythians were searching for us. They didn't like me turning the table on them, and they sent their best nobles to hunt for us. They meant business. They ordered an attack on their encampment. A makeshift fort. Well, a safe fort, but it was a giant stable. That was the last thing they expected from us, since they were used to dealing with the weakling Pelendavan nobles. I will show them the tables have truly turned. Tonight I will bath in the blood of my enemies. XRPTS from comments on ruling the East. By Rigazus, Chief of the Potula Tense, Warden of the East. Slayer of Werewolves, Bane of Scythians.
Welcome to the 21st installment of Let's Get It On. This time we're in the East with this man, Rigazus Wormtongue, Chief of the Poturatense, Warden of the East, Slayer of Werewolves, Bane of Scythians. And following King Dotos' expanse in the West, he kind of felt left out. So he thought he would create some kind of an incident to remind the noble council of Dacia that the East is still important. So he went trading, air quotes. He basically went across the border to raid the Voinu, who are under the Katiaroi protection, and raid he did. The only problem was that the Katiaroi didn't just sit idly and while they were raided. They sent a small-ish army, somewhat of an elite army. The whole army is on horse, and most of them are like heavy armored horse and heavy armored horse archers. So basically the best unit the Scythians can wield at this time. And most generals would flee to at least to a better position from such an army. But not Rigazus. To the surprise of everybody, his own men and the enemy commander, basically everybody, he ordered an attack on a fortified position. The Katiaroi basically made a base of operation, and from here they would send scouts to find out this force. And Rigazus just, you're looking for me, I'm gonna come to you. and say hello, because in his mind he has a plan. Our Riguzus is a sociopath, so in his mind, I basically have a subpar army, and a good way to get better men and better equipment is to make a big deal out of the threat that could come from the east. So he thinks, if I attack a fortified position, even if I lose, I will amass so many casualties that the Council of Dacia will have to address it. So he basically wants a lot of casualties in this battle. He doesn't even seek victory, but victory would be, well, it won't be bad. it will be really something. But he basically wants a lot of people to die, so the council can't ignore the east anymore. And let's see the army. The center of the army is still made of the Komatai, the Malva line, if people still remember from our early days, and they are flanked by some more capable men, X-Men. The pride and joy of his army is this unit of hoplites. In our headcanon, Riguzus is really influenced by the Greeks, at least by the Greek war tactics. So he made up his own version of hoplite unit. If anyone knows how a hoplite really looks like, this is not it, but this is a very Dacian version of a hoplite unit. And behind them we have an archer line, very similar to the Dipax line, only without the actual Dipax. 2 units of slingers, 1 unit of mercenary archers, and to back it all up we have the youths. And he also has 2 units of just light horse. And that's all the army. And we are facing this. This is the enemy camp. Someone sounded the trumpet and they scrambled to get to their horses, not fully believing that they are actually under attack. And as you can see, they are fully decked out. These are some the high nobility of the Katiaroi, who decided to come for a small Dacian hunt and make a name for themselves, get some political power by bashing in some neighbors, maybe get a slave or two. So yeah, that's the enemy. Well, it seems the enemy general decided not to come out, despite having superior men and more men that are on horse. Well, all his men are on horse, so he can clearly maneuver around our army, but they decided to stay put, because we are attacking them. Oh my god, we can see more of them. Oh my, that's a lot of Katiaroi. Yeah, man, a horde of Katiaroi. So we basically have to assault them. We sent the archers forward to try and burn at least 2 of their towers. After the first tower fell, we maneuvered a bit closer to be somewhat in rage and try to bait them. And that's when we found out that there's actually a really nice gap here between their wall, where our slingers outrange their horse archers, so we can basically pelt them for free. So that's interesting, and that's what we are doing, trying to get them to come out. Not doing a lot of damage, but I mean, even a horse has a limit to how many little rocks he can get to the face or to the bum before he decides that he had enough. And the Katiaroi are doing the interesting thing of rotating a lighter armored unit for a more heavier one, but we will still be throwing small rocks at them. So I guess the first few minutes of the battle boiled down to this. We moved one of the Malva lines to be a sacrificial lamb to attract fire from the Getae nobles, while we kept using our slings and doing some real damage, because the exchange was pretty good. We are they are losing more capable men that we are. We are just losing some. I think a whole unit routed here. And look how many we already killed. I started using the instead of actually shooting at the unit, I'm using concentrated fire on the ground, so it works a lot better in cases like this. And we are basically just taking fire with a unit that we really can afford to lose. And that's what that's okay. These are the slingers creeping on, trying, because we did all we could on that entrance, and now the slingers are trying to reposition to get a nice view to shoot at the Getae. So I guess I can they're trying to shove each other, like, no, I want this spot, because really that was prime real estate here where you can get the best view to kill the Getae. But eventually Rigozus came and shouted at them that, you're not a rebel, you're an army, act like an army, and start getting into formation. And as you can see, they are shooting at us, we are shooting at them. A very interesting battle so far. But again, I mean, this falls right into Rigozus's plan. The more plebeians that he is losing, the better it is for him. Speaking of the devil, just comes here to instill discipline. And it looks like the Getae is slowly taking the bait, slowly moving out to get better shots. And now I guess they're moving in. Anyway, we started shooting with arrows. Oh no, we actually brought our light cavalry. Yeah, that wasn't a good idea. One unit of light cavalry tried to bait them, and they didn't take the bait. We just lost a few men, but I guess some of the javelins that we threw at them did find a mark, and now they are retreating back again into their camp, into their death camp. At some point we even tried to, I guess Rigozus tried to send the archers to burn another tower, but it didn't go so well. We didn't have every time we tried to take a few steps to get in range to shoot at the tower, the enemy archers would just start killing us. So the plan was aborted, because we were just losing men, and for some reason that the wall would stop us from actually hitting the tower. I guess it was a bad angle. So we sent the youths in to actually start and do some damage, because I saw their nobles. I think this is the unit of their general, and they're really armored. Oh my god, they're not hitting anything. They're just hitting dead horses. Anyway, the youths have the pilum that have a really nice armor penetration when they actually hit, because the slings can't really do much damage to this ancient tank. So we are doing our best to soften them up. I guess this is the artillery phase of the trench war. Oh my god, they're coming out? Okay. And one eternity later, I usually don't do jump cuts like this, but this time I think I should address a few things. First of all, the next of the episode is recorded 1 week later, because as you can probably hear by my voice, I'm dying. No, I got sick, and the whole household got sick, and it was really hectic. But the main reason I do this is because there will be some visual changes. I discovered, and everybody already told me this, but I didn't listen because I thought they were grass haters. I lowered the grass settings from extreme to 1 pip lower, I think ultra or something like that. And I got, because I couldn't see the blood, and you know I like blood, and there will be blood in this episode, but I couldn't see the blood, so I lowered the grass, and I got, I kid you not, 30 frames per second more. 30, not 1 3, 30, almost double, because I used to have like 40 and now I have 70. So grass is evil. don't do it. And I also added to my collection a grass mode. I don't remember right now the name of the mod, something like improved grass or something, by the guy that made also the Parabellum blood mod, so it actually works really nice together. And also a bonus rant about grass, how you should and you shouldn't design grass. As you can see, there is what I call good grass and evil grass. This is not how you design grass. This is stuff that people used to do in 2004, not in 2009 when it came out. Grass you do like this, in patches. You listen, EA or whoever designed the grass in this game should be hung on a tree, on a badly designed tree. So this is how you do grass, and this is how you do when you just want, because it's a line, if you can notice, it's just a line of texture. This is just something that you see and that you do if you want to cheap out on looking at the horizon. Like it looks bad like this, but if you turn on first perspective, it looks okay. It looks really nice. But you can play like this, and this is a trick for like low end stuff. This isn't something that should be incorporated in the main game. Like, I don't know. Just to clarify, it's not coronavirus. I just a run-of-the-mill cold. We got tested. I'm not really dying. Everything is okay. Look, this is how grass should be. Anyway, back to the slaughter. Now the AI works in mysterious ways. We've been exchanging fire for like a solid 10 minutes, and all of a sudden they will just decide to come out and charge at us. But in our theater of the mind, General Spakos just got a sling to the head, you know, like boing, and he's like, you know, beep these beepers in the beep, charge. And this is my silent charge because I have a baby sleeping. And they really got me with my pants down. I wasn't expecting them to suddenly charge, so they really got a solid charge into my youths.
That's a nice muscly throwing arm you got there. You know, if you get sweaty and want to take your shirt off, that'd be just fine. Sweet Jesus. Hope you don't find the money strapped to my thigh.
But luckily, we had some nearby X-Men, and even the creme de la creme of Rigosus's army is here. His precious hoplites, and even Rigosus himself shows up to mainly show some leadership, because most of the units, there's the old Malva line, the irregulars, they really want to break. The only thing that is keeping them in the fight is the aura of leadership that Rigosus has, and we managed to repel them. They did quite a lot of damage in this charge. Now Rigosus doesn't follow because he's not that crazy. And it looks like they're circle charging, but this time the hoplites are waiting and sadly we're starting to take damage from the tower, some fire arrows, and here we're starting to box them in. The hoplites here and the axemen should start taking position, their position here to block them, and we are not totally surrounding them, because I would like them, if they morally break, they should have a nice way to run away, because these are some heavily armored men, and it's really hard to actually fight them. If they did decide to fight to the end, it will just be really, it will be probably too costly, even for Rigozus. And here are some more. This I think is the general. I don't know. I didn't know. Yeah, I think this is Gepos. So it looks like we managed to break in on this front, and I think this was Gepos. Gepos, the dead general, under the sea of dead horses. And we are splitting into two fronts, and we are coming to help the other unit that came in. But we will do a jump cut and see what happened here, because it was bloody. Now at the other opening, this is where Rigozus's sociopathic skills really shines. I actually had a conversation about how Rigozus should act, how we should portray the sociopathic tendencies of Rigozus with one of the people that actually watches this and gives me input, and I got to the conclusion that he isn't Vlad the Impaler. He's not just bloodthirsty. I view him more as an evil CEO, more like Jeff Bezos. Is this libel? But yeah, more like Jeff Bezos. He's basically telling them, forget about getting paid. Do you wanna get fed? We are in hostile territory. You know who lives in that forest? La 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 la, the Voinu. The cannibalistic, evil, man-eating Voinu. So if you don't want the army to abandon you here, to get eaten by the Voinu, you should go on this suicidal charge into a fortified enemy stable, basically. Because there's so many horses. So imagine the poor peasants from Malva they have to climb over the dead bodies of horses and charge into some angry men. And of course we're sending the spearmen first, and only then the more capable X-Men. But this is a knowingly suicidal charge. Like children, if you do this at home, first of all, don't do this. There's no reason to attack an enemy camp. Usually, you can really work around this. But Rigozus has his own agenda, and part of his agenda is getting most of his men killed. And by the looks of it, his plan is working masterfully. I'm actually surprised by how well eventually they broke, but they held the line, not bad. And this is how Rigozus is handling this. He's not charging in. No, he ordered an attack from the other side, an attack from here, and some of his men, they feel a bit guilty, so they're shooting some arrows into the fray. But Rigozus himself just sits there and waits for to see who breaks first, the enemy or his own troops. Because at this point it's like give or take. We might actually win this. We might actually lose this. There's I don't have any more goats for the augury. But eventually, as you saw, we did manage to break them in this place. But that was after both of our units that we sent here just broke, both the X-Men and the Spearmen. Even Rigozus himself is is retreating. So we are not actually coming to help anyone here. We're just starting a new front. The X-Men and the Hoplites, the Dacian Hoplites, are coming to the center and to take the center. Basically, if we just take this, we win. But you know, easier said than done. And this, the Hoplites will do well against horses, but the X-Men, this really isn't a good matchup. And here, the light cavalry, the 2 units of light cavalry are charging in, and we are trying to get to the enemy general, what's left of his unit. Because these are some tough men, they don't even care that their general is dead. I guess these are the Getae nobles, you know, they're in for themselves basically. You know, having a dead general is basically a promotion waiting to happen. At this point I'm even trying to surrender and come with what's left of the archers to come, and the archers actually broke. They retreated and then they saw Rigozus and they stopped retreating, they rallied. That rarely happens. And yeah, you know, spoilers alert, we won this. Eventually something happened and they broke. At this point I could have just ended the battle, but you know, this is not the Rigozus way. So despite us getting shot by the towers, we are still in it to get as many enemy slaves as we can, because those slaves will go directly into Pelendava, Rigozus's main governorship. So this was one hell of a battle. I had tons of fun doing this. This is one of those battles that I won't normally do, because this is just a really bad idea. And welcome to the best part of this videos, the showing of the numbers. Well, not much can be said. First let's address the Malva line, the 2 units of light spear. The guys that charged in only managed to kill 5 people, while the other guys didn't even manage to kill 1 person. So these are, I guess Rigozus can write home about it and not lie. These are really subpar troops. Actually, only like the slings did some damage, and the youths, the cavalry, only did damage when they were chasing basically. So the real MVP are just the slings and Rigozus himself with 124 kills. Basically his last charge saved the day. And also the Hoplites, 61 kills against mostly elite armored nobles on horse. Not bad. And we lost 651 troops, which normally is bad, almost half the army. But you know, Rigozus, he plays to a different tune. For him this is lovely music to his ears. And I guess this is the end of this episode. I hope you can forgive me for some of my coughing and hoofing. And see you next time.